I've never fit into cookie-cutter neighborhoods, and I never wanted to. While everyone else cared about symmetrical hedges and matching porch lights, I chased a different kind of life. My name's Carter Shaw. I'm 42, and I inherited something more meaningful than property independence. My dad left me a secluded stretch of lakefront land outside a posh suburb in Missouri. But it wasn't just a house or a view. It was a full-blown private marina, carved from sweat, stubbornness, and decades of passion. The shoreline was framed by towering pine trees, isolating us from the polished perfection of the Oak Hollow community next door. His marina was the kind of place you dock to escape the world, not join it. He leased out a couple docks to friends, fishing clubs, and, as I later discovered, even the neighboring HOA, apparently, for the laughable rate of $1 a year. They used docks 5 and 6 for their kayaks. My dad never cared. He saw it as a gesture of goodwill. But goodwill died with him. After years of saving, I bought my dream of 50-foot mahogany Chris-Craft yacht named Indigo Rebel from a retired Navy vet in Michigan, with a polished teak deck and brass rails that could blind you in sunlight. She looked like something pulled from a movie. I docked her right on the central pier, my father's favorite, where I could see her from my cabin each morning. I even raised an American flag above her, just like he used to. For a while, everything felt perfect. I'd sit out there with a bourbon in hand, watching the lake burn gold at sunset. Locals admired the boat. Bar owners offered to host a launch party. And I finally felt like I'd arrived. Until the envelope came. No stamp. Just a white letter stuffed in my mailbox. The return address, Oak Hollow Homeowners Association. The letterhead was thick, embossed, and so smug I could feel it through my fingertips. I figured it was some absurd noise complaint. Instead, it was a list of accusations, blocking scenic views, disrupting community aesthetic, encroaching on a shared access zone. The HOA gave me 10 days to remove my yacht or face daily penalties. I laughed, out loud. Not one square inch of Indigo Rebel touched their property. I checked GIS data, reread my deed, cross-checked dock boundaries. Pier 3, where she was docked, was mine. Always had been. But I wasn't about to go in blind. I called Ava Moran, my lawyer and former Marine who made courtroom opponents cry. She skimmed the letter between bites of Thai noodles and said, "They're bluffing. Big time." We mailed back a certified response deed, parcel map, dock lease, old HOA contract. It spelled everything out. The HOA had access to docks 5 and 6. Not the marina. And certainly not my centerpiece pier. The next morning, a white Escalade with HOA decals rolled up. Out stepped Karen Wilder, the new HOA president. Sunglasses, frozen smile, yoga pants, the whole suburban dictator starter kit. She didn't say hello. She took photos of the yacht. "This boat is in violation of our community view ordinance," she said flatly. "This dock is in violation of your jurisdiction." I replied. Her eyes narrowed. "We'll see what the lawyers say." Mine already laughed. I said, that night. A red-lettered notice was taped to my boathouse: unlawful obstruction, subject to forced compliance. The next day, 3 men in HOA polos showed up. One with a clipboard, one with a GoPro, one inspecting the boat hull like he was calling in a stolen vehicle. I told them to leave. One muttered, "Just collecting evidence." Against who? Me? Then came the pressure campaign. 2 long-time dock renters canceled. The rowing club that paid me $12,000 a year pulled out, citing controversy. My insurer called, saying they'd received a risk complaint about unauthorized public access. Even local code enforcement showed up: 3 times oil slicks, hazardous storage, pier stability, all complaints filed anonymously. Each visit ended with an inspector looking more embarrassed than the last. Newsletters started arriving, despite me not being part of their HOA. One issue even featured an article on protecting community character with blurred photos of my marina. They wanted me gone, not the boat me. I wasn't just disrupting their view. I was a threat to their control. Ava called. "Enough defense. Let's hit back." She pulled up the original lease. It had expired 18 months ago. No renewal clause. Legally, the HOA had no access to any dock. They were trespassing. Our cease and desist went out the next day. 2 days later, I received an email begging for a meeting. I ignored it. Then came the masterstroke. Ava's paralegal found an email between Karen's predecessor and a city official stating the HOA had no legal standing on marina land. Another renter's daughter, who worked at the county clerk's office, pulled zoning rules showing my marina didn't qualify as community shared land under any definition. I was done waiting. I hired Rico, a no-nonsense contractor, and told him, fence everything. 3 nights later, under cover of darkness, motion lights, steel gates, and aluminum fencing went up. By dawn, the marina was locked down tighter than Fort Knox. At 6:02 a.m., the screaming began. HOA members stood at the new fence, furious, kayaks trapped inside. One guy in an REI vest looked like he was about to cry. Karen showed up at 7:23, demanding answers. I handed her the expired lease and said, "You're trespassing. Move along." They threatened legal action and followed through. I was served within 48 hours. Their suit accused me of obstruction, interference, and some nonsense about community unity. Ava laughed so hard she snorted. We countersued for trespassing, harassment, and defamation. Then we dropped the hammer evidence of forged zoning documents with my dad's misspelled name, fake parcel maps, and emails showing Karen referred to the marina as a soft annexation plan. The trial was glorious. A packed courtroom. Press in the back. Karen showed up in a pearl blazer like she was at a charity brunch. Ava ripped them apart with zoning laws, property lines, and video of Karen trying to cut the fence lock herself in a black hoodie. No less. A former board member, Trevor, testified that Karen had pushed for legal pressure to force me into selling. The judge's eyes narrowed. When asked about forged documents, Karen blamed a clerical error. Ava slid the fake map across the table. Game over. The judge dismissed their case with prejudice. Our countersuit stood. The HOA was ordered to pay me $312,000 in damages. Even better, the judge referred Karen and the HOA board to state investigators for fraud. 3 days later, every mailbox in Oak Hollow had a new letter. The HOA board was suspended pending investigation. Signs started popping up. No HOA. No problem. And me? I hosted Freedom Fest. Tiki torches. Fireworks over the lake. Live saxophone music. And my yacht parked proudly with a banner. Still docked. Still mine. Someone brought shirts that read Karen Free Zone. I bought 5. As the night wound down, Trevor handed me a letter from the new interim board, a $1 lease renewal and a Base Pro gift card as a peace offering. I grinned. Tell them I'll consider it if they come to next year's fish fry. Because sometimes, peace doesn't come from backing down. Sometimes it comes with bourbon, fireworks, and the knowledge that no one, not even an HOA queen with bolt cutters, can steal your freedom.